Right now, we're seeing the boys at Cobham putting in that work. They're getting ready now to work under Pochettino, and from next week on the 19th of July, we play our first game of pre-season against Wrexham. So I felt like this was the best opportunity to discuss the 5 key players we must pay attention to, keep our eyes focused on during this pre-season tour. Now for these 5 players I'm about to discuss, I'm thinking about players that can play a key role in Pochettino's tactical ideas. With Pochettino, we understand that he likes his fullbacks to remain high and wide, hugging the touchlines. He wants inside wingers that can play close to the striker, with a striker that can score for himself and create for his teammates. And in terms of the system, it's about intensity off the ball, it's about counter-pressing. Pochettino wants to quickly win possession back, and then when the opposition team is disorganized, attack them instantly on the break. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Give your thoughts and opinions too. Let's try and get over 3k likes for today. And without wasting any more time, now let's start things off, and obviously the first player on our minds is Christopher Nkunku. Now, where is Pochettino planning on using Nkunku? Nkunku is extremely elite in many different facets of the game. He is a creative force, he's an attacking force. He can play across multiple areas in attack and midfield as well too. And right now as a fan base, we're looking at the one guy that can carry the torch left by Eden Hazard. There have been some players that we had big hopes for in your Kai Havertz's, your Joao Felix's, but unfortunately they weren't quite able to live up to that talisman. But I am pretty hopeful that Nkunku could be that guy us fans have been waiting for to really lead our team and help us actually win things. Now during pre-season, I want to see how Pochettino is planning on using Nkunku, because for me, it's not necessarily about the positions that Nkunku plays in, it's more about the freedom that you give him access to. It's how you open up the pitch for Nkunku to, play his best football. And in my opinion, I feel like that whole left zone in the final third, the left half space, the left channel, all those areas down there, that is the best area for Nkunku to play his best football. I would not be surprised to see Nkunku playing as like a wide forward on the left hand side. That's not a wide winger, that's a wide forwards. And I feel in this position it gives him the freedom to be able to drop deep, to link up with his teammates, to help us beat the opposition press. At the same time, he gets to play closer to goal. He gets to have more connections alongside his teammates in the final thirds. And in my opinion, I feel like Nkunku is the complete attacking player. The guy is very ambidextrous with his dribbling ability, and like when you see him play, it's kind of like the game's a bit slowed down. I feel like for the very, very best players, they make the game look a bit slower compared to their other teammates. And obviously with that ambidextrous skill to his game, he's able to protect that ball, not only with his frame, but most importantly, his footwork too. But on top of this, my friends, he is a finisher. He is a match winner. He will score that free kick outside the box. He can create something for himself. He can blast it in from range. He is very accurate with his head as well too. He can go one-on-one against the goalkeeper. He can make those runs in behind. He can finish off moves. And when you have a player that's this proficient in his game, with the bonus being that he can play in his teammates, he's incredibly aware of his surroundings for himself and his teammates too. You will see Nkunku play those line-breaking passes. He will play those clip balls over the top. He can do those 1-2 combo plays. He can find you with a backheel pass. And of course, this guy is also equally dangerous with his delivery in wide areas too. You don't tend to see players like him who are this complete offensively at the highest level in the game. And for us, it's not too often that we're signing players of his class and his ability. And I think to myself, Pochettino and his transition game, giving us like attacking license and freedom too, signing a player that also really benefited from playing for a Leipzig team that showed similar qualities. I kind of feel like this could be a potential match made in heaven. And my friends, I'm sure we're all going to pay a watchful eye on Christopher Nkunku during pre-season. Now for the next player on my list, of course, that has to be Andre Santos. And in my opinion, he is the Brazilian Bellingham. I think this is why we have big hopes around him. And in my opinion, I kind of feel like maybe this is why Mason Mount was sacrificed, because we understand the potential that Andre Santos currently has. And wow, if you give this guy up to 100 games by the time he reaches 21 years old, this guy could be one of the most dominant midfield players in the Premier League. Now, I know the Bellingham comparison might sound like I'm trying to gas things up and overhype him, but I'm saying it based on how he actually plays the game, because for me, Bellingham is the midfield And in my opinion, I think that Andre Santos is a similar player that is also the midfield for his team. And I say this because not only is this guy physically blessed beyond his age compared to Jude Bellingham, but this guy's quality off the ball, on the ball, defensively, offensively. He's a good passer in short and long distances. He has that press resistance. He has the physicality to shrug off challenges and contest for duels as well too. Off the ball, he is tactically aware, and I kind of feel like the experience he's built up at a young age, being a 17-year-old, first playing for Vasco da Gama, playing with a lot of responsibility from a very young age, has really set Santos up very nicely, and there's a reason why this club has incredibly high hopes around him. We were very unfortunate that he couldn't sign for us last season because, of course, he was short by 1 point when it came to his work permit. The fact that we tried to make this happen tells you that this guy is highly rated. For me, I'm hoping that Santos can be developed to be that all-encompassing box-to-box midfield player that completely dominates the midfield. Right now, I can't really pick many faults in his game, and I think for certain players of this level at their age, it's more about how can you fine-tune and improve your overall craft compared to working on weaknesses and deficiencies in your game. I think for his first year, it's going to be a great educational year to give him that platform for success in the future. But I definitely feel like Andre Santos, he has the mentality beyond his age, the physicality and the ability as well too to match. I feel like we could have unearthed a pretty exciting talent right now. And of course, he is another player to keep watchful eyes on during this preseason. So next on this list, we talk Malo Gusto. Now at this point in time, Reece James is carrying slight knee concerns. Nothing too serious, everything's being assessed and everything is currently under control. But it is a constant reminder that Reece James cannot play 60 games plus a season. And finally, after how many years we have invested money in signing a competition figure to act alongside Reece James in Malo Gusto, and in my opinion, this guy is the right guy that really suits Pochettino's ideas. Now, as I mentioned at the start of this video, we know that Pochettino likes to have fullbacks that can engage in the final third, that are comfortable playing and building up in midfield, and obviously can defend when they're deep in positions too. And for me, Gusto ticks all these boxes. Now in the final third, Pochettino's guys need to be like wingers when they're playing as fullbacks. And Malo Gusto ranks incredibly high for progressive carries. I mean, you can see it in his game. The footwork, the skill, the change of pace. He has that down to a T. On top of that, he has incredibly dangerous crosses inside the box. He plays crosses in front of his man so his teammates can attack the ball. And most importantly, this guy can play quality crosses when he's on the run at full speed, playing balls inside the box. Now on top of this too, he ranks really high in the percentiles when it comes to progressive passes received. And that tells you a lot about how Gusto is constantly running in behind. He is constantly looking to try and stretch opposition defenses and disrupt their shape. And knowing the fact that once he has that ball, he has the quality to get past his man with his footwork and press resistance and his deliveries too. I think this kid is incredibly exciting. Now, I like to praise the talents that these guys have, but that doesn't mean that they're the perfect article and they're the finished player. I think that Gusto's in the right environment under the right manager that can take his game to the next level. But of course, there's things he can work upon, but I like to think that those issues can be minimized. Of course, things like aerial ability, sometimes his body shape's not correct at times, sometimes he's missing out on a tackle, but when you're only just turning 20 years old, you can't be expecting this guy to be like a seasoned 32-year-old pro. But I do think that in terms of what he offers, in terms of his positivity on the ball, his attacking willingness, the quality in possession as well too, this is a great guy to have alongside Reece James. And for certain small defensive issues, I do feel like the best things about his defensive game, which is his counter-pressing, that's going to suit Pochettino because we all know that he's about counter-pressing quickly, win the ball back and kickstart another counter-attack when the opposition team's shape is out of order. So my friends, let's keep very close attention to Malo Gusto. For the next player on this list, it has to be Ian Maatsen. Now as we know, Pochettino has blocked any attempts to sell Maatsen before he's properly and fully assessed him during preseason. And in my opinion, this is the right decision because I feel like Maatsen in his game suits playing Pochettino's football a lot more than Cucurella at this point in time. With how frequent players like Ben and Reece pick up injuries, we need to have quality, technical, dominant fullbacks as their competition. And I do think that Maatsen is now ready to start playing for us. I mean, last season this guy absolutely cooked under Vincent Kompany. He was in the championship team of the season. He picked up Player of the Month awards, and in 42 appearances, he got 4 goals and 6 assists. That's 10 goal contributions. Now, the championship is no joke, yeah? It's very physically demanding. You know, you're traveling up and down across the country, you know? I feel like it's no surprise why many clubs are loaning good players and talents now to the championship to get them ready for the Premier League. And I do feel like Maatsen now comes back even more confident. And most importantly, he comes back a much better player. Now, Maatsen was key at stretching defences last season by making those late arrivals on the left-hand side, playing as a wing-back for Kompany. His crossing was okay at times, but when it was good, these were dangerous crosses. You know, he was finding teammates inside the box. And on top of this, I feel like he has a better crossing technique when he's playing cutback passes. When he's playing those low different passes to runners about to attack the space inside the box, compared to like finding his man in the 6-yard box. But most importantly too, he also has that goal threat. If the opportunities open up, he is not afraid to take shots, and he has been a match winner for Burnley a few times last season. Now, I think there's some similarities between Kompany and Pochettino, especially in the build-up phase. For example, both managers like to create 3+1 or 3+2 structures to help their teams play out from the back. And with using these structures, it means that both managers like to have their fullbacks or wingbacks remaining very wide, staying really high, hugging those touchlines. And I feel like this is where Maatsen can be a bit of a secret weapon for us, because one of the best things about his game too is his progressive passing. Now, if you're a player, let's say you're a Mudryk or a Sterling, you're on the field, you've just realized, oh wow, there's space in front of me to attack right now. It's about those split seconds. And Maatsen has that passing quality to play a ball over the top from the left-hand side to find runners in behind. He can find players between the lines. He can underlap into midfield as well too. And having a player that's this good at passing the ball, that can hold his position out wide, means that our shape doesn't have to get disrupted. We can keep some protection against the counter-attack. And I do feel like on top of that skill, his progressive carrying as well too, his intelligence, and the fact that he's getting better and better in all aspects of his game. Personally, I feel like Maatsen is now ready, and for these reasons, of course, he has to be a guy we watch out for during pre-season. And right now, to end things, of course, it had to be this man, and that is Levi Coral. Now, it's an absolute no-brainer. At this point in time, Liverpool are doing everything they can to try and sign him. They are hovering like flies. They're looking for any whiff of smell of disinterest from Coral before they swoop in and pay any amount of money to try and sign him, which tells you everything you need to know about the quality that Coral possesses at his age. Right now, Coral wants assurances, and for me, the very best players in the game should demand them. Gareth Southgate has told him, if you're playing consistent first-team football next season, you'll probably be a first-team defender at the Euros for next summer. And when you have these types of hopes in the horizon, you need to make sure the club are going to fully support you, and they're going to be the club to help you play your best football and help you reach those legendary heights. Because right now, Cole is showing in his first season already that he has many elite qualities to his game. And we all know how incredible his passing range is and his passing technique is. The way he found Matoma down the left-hand side, you know, those passes that split in defenses. I mean, it's like he's a midfield player at times. And when you combine that with the fact that he's like over 6'3", he is very fast, he's very strong, he's very intelligent, and he's an incredible world-class passer on the ball. All of this, and he's a left-footed defender. Left-footed defenders come at a premium in the market these days. I mean, right now, Cole is a unicorn. Cole is so confident on the ball. Like, he's very good at carrying the ball. He'll carry the ball into midfield, or he'll carry the ball out wide to the left to open up those passing angles. So I think one thing that's really going to help him is that if we can sign Caicedo, who can be the guy who can sit deeper as Cole's pushing up, that's going to offer us some new passing options and angles that we haven't seen in a while. Right now, there's no major weakness in Cole's game, and that's what separates him from his peers. Already, he's one of the best ball-playing defenders in the league. Already, he's one of the best aerial defenders in the league. I mean, the guy's an absolute monster in the air. He's a proactive style defender that likes to intercept the ball. And to do that at this level, being that young, really says a lot. And that's because it's how you interpret danger, it's how you read the game. And most times, Cole is not getting punished when he does this. And that tells you everything you need to know about how he handles pressure at the highest level. The guy can keep up with pacey defenders. The guy's ground defending is very strong as well too. He won't just panic and rush into tackles. And I have to say that he is a pretty complete defender in the sense that there's no major weakness in this game where he has to add certain things to be able to compete at this level. It's more about fine-tuning your craft even more. And a recent example was Ashley Cole giving Cole advice. And that advice was, make sure your right foot is behind the ball before you pass with your left foot. And that's to generate a lot more power, a lot faster. Little details like that the very best players and pros want to absolutely perfect, because those small margins make the biggest difference on the field. And if Cole is at this age already where this is the type of advice that he's taking on board, where's this guy going to be in the next few years? So my friends, of course, the end things, it had to be Levi Coral. And there, my friends, that is it. They're the 5 players to watch out for during preseason. Now, of course, there are some honourable mentions. Those players include Mudryk. Those players include Armando Broja. They include Nicholas Jackson. But I felt like these 5 players are the important ones that could have a big impact for us for next season. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Share your thoughts and opinions, and if you don't agree with this list your 5 players that you're going to pay attention to during preseason. So my friends, I'm Nini FC, this is BlueLionsTV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.